What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Well, let's get the popcorn popping, let's get the sodas pouring, let's get the coffee made. Hurry up and make love to your wife and get right back here because it is time for your favorite show. That's right, it's the Lucha Libre News/Rant Show. Now, not a whole hell of a lot going on in the Lucha Libre world. This is mostly going to be my top picks for 2018, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, first things off, there was a really good match to remember in the WWC. The other day was Exavant versus Eurus in a cage matchup, and it was a really good matchup. I mean, it was nothing truly amazing, but it was still a really good matchup. Unfortunately, however, Exavant ended up winning the matchup via pinfall, but Eurus ended up putting up one hell of a fight. Definitely the highlight of the night was when Zavant pulled out a baseball bat that was covered in barbed wire, lit it on fire, and ended up beating the hell of a guy with it. That was definitely the highlight of the night. I would have liked to see Eurus I would have liked to see him win the matchup because I think he's a really good luchador. I think he definitely deserves more respect and to go higher up than he is. But unfortunately, the WWC is still a rather low in the totem pole as well as far as Lucha Libre promotions go. So hopefully he gets picked up by somebody a little bit bigger. This match goes to show that the WWC really can put on one hell of a matchup if they actually really wanted to. Another great matchup worth mentioning was Teddy Hart versus Pentagon Jr. This matchup was very technical, it was very high flying, and it was definitely a beatdown matchup. I was actually surprised at how good this matchup actually really was. And I always hated Teddy Hart, never liked the guy, but Teddy Hart did win me over in this matchup. Teddy Hart did win this matchup via pinfall, and I left this matchup with a newfound respect for Teddy Hart, which is saying a lot because, like I said, I freaking hate that guy to death. So that's definitely saying a lot. This matchup was, of course, luchador versus wrestler, but it was really, really good. If you have not seen this matchup, you really definitely need to check it out. Probably go check it out on the MLW website or whatever. The MLW really did a great job putting this matchup together, and it was an awesome matchup. Now, some Lucha Underground news. Now, Lucha Underground last season they were basically unsure if they were going to do a season 4. By the L Network said that they were unsure if they were going to do it because of basically they had financial troubles before season 4, but they came out with the season 4 obviously. Now they are unsure if they're going to be doing a season 5 still. El Rey Network recently went under some changes at their head office, and that meant that some of their programming changed as well. We all know that season 4 ran on a much lower budget and that Netflix decided not to run their Lucha Underground anymore. El Rey has hinted that they want to stop doing Lucha Underground, but I would say that Lucha Underground, in my opinion, is definitely not going anywhere. I think we'll definitely see them in season 5, but season 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 usually start taping in the middle of February, and as of yet, there's been no ticket sales for season 5 for their live taping, which leads me to believe that season 5 might not happen. But the last time that we actually talked to Vampiro, he stated that he will be looking forward to working alongside Matt Striker in Lucha Underground again, which definitely ultimately leaves me to believe that season 5 is actually going to happen, even though Lucha Underground, El Rey Network executives have been hinting that it won't happen. I definitely believe that it will will happen for sure. Now, I know this is late for my best of 2018, but let's get on with this, and I've decided to put together a best of for 2018. Now, for the best promotion of 2018, I have to give it to the CMLL. Now, I picked the CMLL for my best of 2018 because they really came a long way in 2018. Now everybody knows that at the beginning of 2018, I really did not like the CMLL at all. I never really even watched a lot of it because it was just such a bad promotion. They've definitely made a lot of changes. They signed a lot of really big, great talent. They've been pulling out a lot of smart, big moves, which they've really pulled me and sucked me in to liking them because of these smart moves that they've been doing and just these big power plays that they've been making. Now, my pick for event of the year. Now, there were so many great events of 2018 in the Lucha Libre world. I have to go with this year's, or 2018's, Triple Mania. Now, I picked Triple Mania because every single thing about Triple Mania was actually amazing. There was not a bad matchup on that card. Now, usually with Lucha Libre events, you'll have a few bad matches, a couple bad matches, but every single matchup of Triple Mania was actually really good. They were all main event worthy. There was no hiccups in the event. There was no mistakes in the event. It really had me kept me on the edge of my seat for that one for sure. It definitely really impressed me. Now, my pick for the best trio tag team of the year is probably going to be a surprise to everybody. I picked the Reptile Tribe. Now, I know everybody's going to be scratching their head at that one, but I picked the Reptile Tribe because they really impressed me. Again, I've never been a really big fan of the Reptile Tribe, but since they booted out Drago, they've gotten a lot better, especially when they brought in Jeremiah Snake. They've meshed really well together as a tag team. They have great chemistry together. They're a brutal force to be reckoned with, and I think they're going to have a long career as a tag team for sure. Now my pick for tag team of the year is Texano Jr. and Rey Escorpion. Now these is definitely one of the biggest tag teams, or they have the potential at least to be one of the biggest tag teams in the history of Lucha Libre, or even the history of wrestling period. They're current AAA Tag Team Champions, which they did win this year of 2018. Now, when they first got together, I thought it was retarded because I like Texano Jr. as a singles competitor. But now that they've been working together throughout the year, they've really impressed me on how far they've come. I definitely think that they're going to go down in history as one of the greats, and I definitely look forward to seeing them more throughout the years. Now, my pick for best luchador of the year has to go to La Park. Now, this was definitely La Park's year as he made his return this year to the CMLL. He made his return to AAA, and he's just been so dominant in every promotion. He's been incredibly dominant in CMLL, incredibly dominant in AAA, incredibly dominant in MLW, very dominant in the Crash. I mean, sorry about that, guys. Like always, my camera ended up dying. But like I said, my pick for Luchador of the Year goes to La Park. Now, La Park just had such a great year. He made his return to CMLL this year. He made his return to AAA this year. Like I said, he was just so dominant wherever he goes, and some of the best matches I've ever seen have always involved La Park. If you think about great matches of Lucha Libre, you're gonna have a matchup that involves La Park. He's so good at carrying the other guy. He's so good at what he does. I mean, it's hard not to pick La Park for Luchador of the Year, just because his comebacks have been so dominant. He's just been such a steady dominance in the Lucha Libre world, as well as he's such a good crossover luchador too. Like, it's so hard to for luchadors to cross over to the wrestling world, and this guy, he does it so effortlessly. Like, I was just so impressed with him this year. He did so good. Definitely, yeah, especially in the MLW, entering in the MLW and wherever he goes. I mean, he's definitely the hardest working luchador out there today. Now my pick for the feud of the year definitely is no surprise. It's Le Parc versus Rush feud. Now this feud was definitely the biggest and longest running feuds out there. This is a feud that has spanned multiple promotions, which is pretty rare. Usually when a wrestler or luchador cross over to another promotion, they don't tend to carry on that feud, but this is a feud that has reached multiple promotions. I mean, the feud was done so well too. I mean, usually there's always kind of hiccups along the road when feuds go, but this is one that's just, it never gets old. I mean, it's even running into this year, and it's just, it makes you want to see more and more. Plus the back and forth and the chemistry these guys have is just unreal. Now my pick for match of the year is definitely one that lived up to the hype, and I think it's no surprise it's Le Parc versus Rush, CMLL. Now this is one matchup that definitely lived up to the hype. It was so good. It left me wanting more. I mean, just the back and forth was unreal. I mean, these guys hit each other with everything, even a goddamn kitchen sink. Like, these guys, like the back and forth, it was amazing. I mean, you have two of the top luchadors of all time just really battling it out, and you don't really see great matches like this too often, but this is definitely one that sticks out. Whenever I think of Lucha Libre matches, I instantly think of this one for sure. Now this is definitely a matchup that we'll be telling our kids, and of course their kids will be telling their kids. It's definitely one of those matchups. Now my pickup for Shocker of the Year. Now there's definitely a lot of good shocks in 2018, but when I think of shocks of the year or shocking things that happened in Lucha Libre throughout the year of 2018. Now Metallica, when she won the CMLL title, that was definitely the shocker of the year for me. I don't think anybody's seen that coming. I think it was definitely a true shocker to myself as well as any other Lucha Libre fans out there. I mean, it's something we're still talking about. It's something that we're going to be talking about throughout the year of 2019. I mean, she definitely shocked the entire universe when she won the title. I personally couldn't believe it, and I don't think anybody else could really have believed that as well. That was definitely the shocker of the year for sure. Now my pick for female luchador of the year is going to have to be Zeus X. Now I know a lot of people are going to be confused by me picking her as female luchador of the year, but she's had a really good year. I mean, she's been in the headlines quite a bit. She left the CMLL in 2018 because they were just sticking her as a mid-card. She went on and she did the May West tournament, which she did really, really well in. I think she ended up making it to round 2 or 3 before she lost out of it. She's been going to these other promotions, and she's just been dominating wherever she goes. I mean, again, like Le Parc, she's just everywhere, and her dominance is just clear. Like, she's definitely going to have an amazing future wherever the road goes. Now, I know that there's been a few rumors about her going around, you know, that she's signed to this, she's signed to that, but whatever she signs to and whatever she's going to do, she's going to have an amazing career wherever she goes. But anyway, guys, those are my picks for my top 2018, and that's the video for today. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you know very much, and like always, I'll check you in the next video.